Am I the a-hole for ignoring the GoFundMe my biological mother set up to fund treatment for one of her kids? Okay, let's see what happened. The background to everything is that my dad died when I, 21 male, was 4.5 years old. After his passing, my biological mother left me with my paternal grandparents and she just never tried to be a parent to me. I saw her once when I was 6 and she was looking for money from my grandparents who told her where to go. She didn't even check in with me to see how I was doing. It was just give me money, he was my husband and I deserve it, and then left again. My grandparents were my legal guardian and they had custody of me until my 18th birthday. They never chased my biological mother for child support and instead saved for my future. I had a small inheritance from my dad too. There were things of dad's that I weren't interested in keeping that my grandparents sold and added to the inheritance from dad. Since my biological mother didn't want them either, and the sentimental thing dad loved was saved, they felt it was for the best. 2 years ago, my biological mother reached out to my grandparents via social media and asked for dad's things they had already sold. She said she needed the money from them. They told her they were sold years ago and she wasn't getting a penny. She put two and two together and told them some of that should have went to her, and they told her she forfeited it all and they had the messages to prove she wanted none of it at the time. She told them she had a kid with cancer who needed the money for treatment, and my grandparents told her dad was not funding another man's child's treatment. Another year later, my biological mother contacted me and said she wanted to talk about the money she knew I had and how it would help her and her husband a lot because they had 4 kids and one was undergoing cancer treatment. I blocked her without replying. Then a few months after this past summer to be more exact, she contacted me on another account and sent me the link to a GoFundMe where they were raising money for this treatment for their kids' cancer. The money was only partially going directly to funding it, but they also wanted to have some place to stay and everything. I ignored the GoFundMe too, and I never donated. It was 2 months later when I got a message from my biological mother's husband, a stranger to me, who was like, "This is your half sister and you should have been helping her." I ignored the message and blocked his account, and I made that whole account private. But then my biological mother found a different account on a different platform and she DM'd me several times in a single night while I was sleeping. She told me I was running from my little sibling and a sick little sibling who needed my help, and I was doing it to punish her when they don't deserve it because they are innocent and blah blah blah. I responded that they needed to leave me alone because I was not part of her family and I was not interested in spending money on her children. Then I blocked her account. So then she contacted my grandparents again and said they had raised me to be heartless and with no regard for my family. They told her where to go again. But it's crazy to me that they are so annoyed by this. Her husband was involved in yelling at my grandparents too. And it's like, what is this? They are acting like we owe them or their kids something. She's nothing more than my biological mother. She's not a donor because she didn't do a generous thing by giving people the chance to have a kid. She's not some selfless person. She's not a caring mother either who made a simple mistake. All she cares about is getting money from me. So her kids are nothing more to me than random kids I hear about on social media. This feeling grows with every interaction with my grandparents or I have with this woman and her husband. But I wanted to check and see what people think. Was ignoring the GoFundMe a bad move? I could have donated. It wasn't that I couldn't afford to donate anything. I simply didn't want to. Does that make me the a-hole? What do you guys think?